Hey, what's going on, guys? So, let me get y'all set up here. All right, got me a little dinner here. So we ended up breaking down the the truck. Ended up, as you guys know, I drive a Kenworth T680. It ended up going to full D rate. So we got that over at the dealer right now. We ended up getting a hotel. Company paid for us to get a nice hotel, so I thought that was very cool of them. This place is fancy, fancy. Um, I won't eat while talking to you guys on camera, but I know I ain't posting no videos in a little bit. I just wanted to talk about what's kind of going on. So every single time that I put DEF fluid into the DEF tank in the Kenworth T680, there's been different things that say don't fill it up all the way. Okay, for one, on an expensive truck like that, we shouldn't have to be worrying about some stupid shit like don't fill it up all the way. All right, I'm sorry, that's benign and that's stupid. So, whatever. But I'm actually broke down here in the town that I grew up in Perrysburg, Ohio. So that was kind of cool. I just got back from hanging out with some of my old friends, and that was a good time, good night. So that was kind of fun. I always pass through Perrysburg quite often, and I usually stay down at the Petro truck stop. But it was kind of cool to relax a bit and hang out with some old friends from high school. So that was fun. But anyway, back to the subject. So I fill the DEF tank up every single time this happens. Okay, like 98% of the time, this happens where the light on the DEF meter, I don't even know what to call it, the DEF gauge, it'll start flashing. First, it'll come up as a solid red, and the screen itself on the dashboard will tell me that I need to change the DEF fluid. So at that point, my company tells me just to drive down the road when that happens for like 50 or 60 miles, and it should just go away. If that does not go away, the next step is that it power reduced, change DEF fluid. So that's the next step, and the little light on the DEF gauge starts flashing at you. So once that happens, what they want you to do is cycle the batteries off for about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then afterwards, drive it about 20 or 30 miles, and then it should clear the faults. So what it basically is doing is the sensor in the DEF tank is telling the computer that there is no DEF in the DEF tank. So, whatever. But the DEF fluid itself turns out to be that it's good. It's not bad. So it's a faulty sensor, or some with the computer in these Kenworth T680s, and come to find out it happens quite often with these trucks. And I think that's something that Kenworth should definitely look into, because I think Kenworth's a great truck. I think PACCAR motors are great. So Kenworth, you got to look into that. So it's over at the shop. We got all of our paperwork transfloated in and all that stuff, so we're all good and set to roll. But here's the crazy part. So I went on home time. That's why I've been on home time. That's why you guys haven't heard from me. But when I came back out, I ended up running a load from Green Bay over to our plant in Plainwell, and then from Plainwell, I took a load to New York City. I had 3 stops in New York City. That was the last stop. It was called Weifang LLC. Now there's 2 different places where Weifang is in New York City. There's the main hub, and then there's like this little small tiny Little Weifang, and that's the one that I had to go to. Oh my goodness, it was such a crazy, small, configured way to get back in there. And there was a company next door to Weifang that was pouring concrete that day with the concrete pumps and the concrete trucks backing in and out. Oh, it was crazy. It was a heck of a day to get in and out of there, but we did it, and we did it without a hassle and without making anybody upset. So I pride myself in that one. But and then we got out of there. I had some good views of Manhattan and the World Trade Center and all that, so I thought that was pretty cool driving out of there. We ended up heading down to Solderton, picked up a load from Solderton that was supposed to go to Chicago. So I was under that load, and I ended up getting fuel in, oh geez, where did I get fuel? I got fuel in two different places, in Middleton, Pennsylvania, and or Middlesburg, whatever it is. And then I ended up getting fuel and DEF in Girard, Ohio at, I believe it was a Love's. Yeah, it was a Love's. So, oh no, I'm sorry, was it a Petro? Yeah, it was Petro. Petro in Girard, Ohio. And so after I got that, nothing happened. The light didn't come on, so I thought everything was it was good to go, right? I had full tanks, full DEF tank, had a load on. I was ready to rock and roll. I was going to deliver that load at 9 o'clock at night that night in Chicago, and we were going to be ready to go for the next day. Well, I ended up running out of hours because I ran from New York City to Solderton, Pennsylvania, up to 80, and then all the way over, and I had to stop twice and get fuel and get DEF. And so I ended up running out of hours by the time that I got here to Perrysburg. And usually that's what happens. That's kind of usually my little halfway point is here in Perrysburg. I usually end up running out of hours. I usually only got about 30 minutes left to drive on my 11 hours whenever I hit Perrysburg. So kind of just make it my little halfway point. So I stopped and I went inside, got me something to eat. I got myself a shower and I came back outside. I started up the truck because I wanted the coolant to get a little warm, so that way when I started up the APU, everything was going to be kind of warm and ready to rock and roll. So I wanted to get the coolant cycling around. So when I did that, I noticed as soon as I started the truck that it had said the little light started coming on for the DEF and whatnot, and I was like, oh boy, here we go again. So I sent in my Qualcomm messages to Breakdown and all that, and then I called dispatch and I called Breakdown and I let everybody know what was going on, and they told me again, you know, just to drive it. And I was like, well, okay, I'll drive it tomorrow whenever my 10 hours is up. So I hop in the truck and I go to sleep, and I woke up ready to start my day, and everybody was kind of like calling me and like, what's going on with your truck? And I was like, well, Breakdown told me this and that, blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't even leave the truck stop parking lot, and the truck went to full D rate like that. So they set me up over here. I told them about the Kenworth dealer, the Whiteford Kenworth dealer down the street. And they said that they'll call them and see if they can fit me in. So maybe they'll get me in today. Coming up, it's about 3 in the morning right now. Maybe they'll get me in today, maybe not. Oh well. I'm planning on staying in this hotel for at least a week because of the holiday coming up. So, oh well. I'm not worried about it because I do still get paid. I get paid a daily rate. So I'm not really too worried about it because I still do get paid even if I'm not driving, because I'm still technically available, just the truck's broken. So they still pay me. But so I guess that's a good thing. That's kind of a perk of working where I do. But you know, I still feel bad, you know, getting paid and just kind of sitting here hanging around, and then they're paying for a hotel. So I do feel bad about that, but it does feel good to know that I'm still getting paid. Because this has happened before. This happened about a month and a half ago, and I was actually at home so I didn't have to stay in a hotel, so I didn't feel too bad. I was actually just I stayed at the house because there was a Kenworth dealer right down the street from my house. But yeah, so that's like I said, I feel kind of bad about it, but it still feels good to be able to know that you're getting paid for sitting, which could possibly be sitting for a whole week. So that still feels pretty good. At least I hope I'm gonna still get paid. So yeah, but man, this hotel room that they got me, it's crazy. So there's this little place called Levis Commons in Perrysburg, Ohio, and that's where this hotel is located. And the Kenworth dealer, Whiteford, is right across the highway. So, like, I've stayed in the Hilton hotels before. They're like 4.5, 5-star hotels, but I've never stayed in one that has had all of this stuff. Like, these are all updated and new and the whole shebang. Like, I'm gonna show you guys. So when I first walked into the room here, I'll get up and show you. This is insane. Pardon a little bit of a mess, but so in the bathroom itself, we'll give you a little tour. I think this is the coolest thing. Look at this mirror. That is the coolest thing ever. You get to see is like your whole glow lights up, you know? But I mean, the shower is even great. Very fancy stuff. Like, it's got a refrigerator, they got waters in there for me, it's got a nice freezer, dishes, and silverware, guys. Coffee, baking stuff, like it's a refrigerated microwave, so it's got a convection oven on it. You can cook in there and all this stuff. So we got dishes and we got glasses and cups. I mean, here's the cool part about it. It's got a dishwasher, guys. A dishwasher, and they leave you some little soap so that way you can wash the dishes. Whoops. You get an oxy pack to throw in the dishwasher. I mean, it's just a real cool, like, it's got a desk with a table that pulls out and rolls out, a nice chair, nice TV, compartment to put all your clothes in and whatnot. I haven't put my clothes away yet. Two big old beds, two ginormous beds, and these sheets are so comfortable. Oh my goodness. They're very comfortable. Anyway, it's got a couch here, right? I got my guitar with me, about 2 bags, giant old mirror, nice. It's even got this privacy curtain that pulls out, you know. But this place is just super cool, super awesome. And check out the view of the Christmas lights that are still up over here. That I get out the window. I'm on the 4th floor. Oh, they turned them out. I guess they turned them out. I'm sorry. But out there, there's a bunch of Christmas lights and whatnot. I guess you can see this little changing light down here on the awning. That's pretty cool looking. But yeah, you got an ironing board, an iron, place to hang up your clothes over there. 2 big old beds. I've already taken me a nap. That's why the bed's all messed up. So sorry. But I think it's super cool how, you know, there's a couch here and even the ottoman. So super, super fancy. I think it was like $112 a night, but we got it for $102 a night on Experian. So I think still that is just be up and above and beyond in my company. So I really appreciate them doing that for me, because this place is very homey feeling. That's what they call this place, is home to Hilton Inn and Suites. So it's like they want you to feel very at home, like you're at your home away from home. So, but yeah, so we'll be waiting here for a couple of days and see what happens and see what they do with the truck. And then we've got some more home time. I'm going to my brother's house in Michigan. It's the 12th to the 14th, I'll be in Michigan at my brother's house, up by Flat Rock. We're gonna celebrate Christmas there because I didn't celebrate Christmas. I'm working all the holidays this year. So I opted into that with my company. So my family and we're actually gonna celebrate our Christmas on the 12th and the 14th of January. And then from there, I'm gonna go home. I got a rodeo that I'm going to in Minnesota So I'll go home to Minnesota and I'll hit the rodeo on the 26th, Friday. Stay home until Sunday morning. I'll be leaving out and I'll be working all through February. I don't believe I'm going to come home at all in February. My birthday is February 25th, but I'm going to work through my birthday, and then hopefully around mid-March, we're going to be going ahead and checking out some brand new trucks. Not brand new. We're going to be going ahead and checking out some trucks, and we're going to go ahead and probably buy one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try and lease on with this company, and hopefully everything will, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of willpower, hopefully everything's gonna go out smoothly. So we're getting closer and closer to our end date, guys. It's been a long journey. It's been a long time coming, but these months are going by quicker and quicker. So I'm getting more and more excited, more and more scared. So. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. I'm going to go ahead and eat me a little bit of food, and I'm going to crash. Give me some Z's in. So you guys be safe out there. I know it's winter time, and I know there's a storm rolling through out there in Oklahoma and Nebraska and all that. There's a lot of snow coming in on the ground, so you guys out there, be careful. Okay, and that's it. You guys stay safe. Have a wonderful night. Bye.